Hi, welcome, welcome. So glad you joined today. Hope y'all are having wonderful Christmas holidays, New Year holidays, all the holidays in between. Hope it's been a lot of fun with family and friends. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please let me know if you join. You'll have to let Facebook know, StreamYard know that it's okay to show your name. And I think when you got the notification that I was going live, it should have mentioned that and let you know that. Otherwise, I just see you as a Facebook user. So we'd love to know who you are and where you're watching from. And you're welcome to watch anytime. And I'd love it if you would share. That would be awesome. I really enjoy inspiring other crafters to get creative, and I'm excited about the new Stampin' Up! Mini catalog that's coming up, available January through April, and that starts January 5th for those of you who are not demonstrators. And for you lucky ones out there who are demonstrators, you probably already have your copy and are excited also. Glad you tuned in to see something from the Country Bouquet bundle or the Country Floral Lane suite. They're both part of the same suite. But I am so glad you joined. I'm going to switch this over so hopefully I can see comments as you tune in. If you're watching the replay, that's great. Let me know who you are and where you're from. And thanks again for tuning in. We're going to get started, and I'll show you the card we're going to make right here. And this, I've got a class coming up where I will be featuring 6 different card designs that I've created using this Country Bouquet bundle. The bundle comes with a 10% savings when you purchase the bundle and the stamp set together. Hello, Facebook user. Sorry, I don't know who you are. If you want to go on, give them permission, I can see your comments. Otherwise, I won't be able to, but glad you're here. Let's see. Okay, I was talking about the class that I've got coming up. We're going to have 6 different designs with this bundle, and using the designer series paper that's a Country Floral Lane DSP also. So I'm excited to share some of those with you. I shared one last week, and I've added a few things. I had to add a little bit of paper to that from last week. This is the one I showed you how to make last week, and it folds up and puts it in and fits into a regular size envelope, just like that. And then you open it like that. That will be one of the ones featured in the class. And I will switch this desktop over. Sorry about that. Okay, so you've got that one, and it just stands up nicely on your desk like that. If you can see the angle there. And this one we're going to make today. Also coming up in that class, that will be an online class to go. You'll be able to order just the class with a packet of the gems that I will be featuring today. And these are not the gems that are in that suite. I really like this packet better, and it's called Iridescent Gems. Let's see, Iridescent Pastel Gems. Okay. And I really like the way these colors worked. Even though they don't say that they're the colors in this suite, I really think they work well with it. And they have an iridescent shine, so they kind of pick up the different colors. But this I'm using with the petal pink, and this is supposed to be Calypso Coral, but it looks kind of cool with the reds that are in this kit. So that's fun. All right, so we're using those. You would get, when you sign up for the class, you'll also get a packet of gems. And your class to go, you'll get all 6 of the cards. And I'm just going to give you a quick sneak peek to get you excited about getting this class information. You can send me a comment. You can send me an email at createwithkelly.com, Kelley. And here's another one of the cards, another fun fold. Just giving you a quick, sorry about that. Looks like I froze up. Let's do it again. There we go. All right. Then we've got another fun fold. that has a fun little clasp. Didn't this look like a cute little purse? This is the Cane 3D folder, which we're going to be using today. And it just fits right underneath there, just kind of tucks in, and you open it up. And of course, this could be a get well soon card. It doesn't have to be a Happy Valentine's Day at all. It's just because love is year round, right? And love is associated with hearts. So there you go. That's a cute one. And I'll be showing you these on different Facebook Lives. Also have this card, which you wouldn't think would be part of this suite, but this paper is in that suite. It's the same floral pattern. It's petal pink and mint macaron with a mossy meadow background. And I have combined this stamp set with this card. This is one of the celebration items that's coming up that you can get with a $100 purchase. And I just realized that as I've already built my glass package, I'm going to have to redo it. Thank you. Glad you like these. And this one is available for a $100 order. You will get this stamp set free. And that's what I used in this card because I thought the flowers went really well with these right here. And let's see what else we have. We have one more using this suite. How cute is this? Kind of looks like, I thought this kind of looked like an awning for maybe a bicycle shop or a florist shop or something. And it just folds flat in your envelope and sets up like that. Opens up like that. There you go. So if y'all want to make all 6 of these cards, sign up for my class. Be sure and subscribe to my MailChimp blog, createwithkelly.com. You can go right there and let me know that you want to be a part of this class. But today we're going to switch back to this one. And we will be using the Cane Embossing folder. I wanted to show you just how deep that folder gets. We'll just start with that right here. We'll get out our little packet. And this is the way the class packets come in an envelope, and everything will be scored for you unless you're coming to an in-person class. And then some of the detailed ones I'm going to let you do yourself. But everything that's basic like this, I will do for you. This card base is the typical 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I have used the deckled rectangle dies on the inside. I love this right here, this little greeting. I love that we are friends, because so many of us have, or a lot of folks I know have lost a spouse or know someone who's lost a spouse and no longer has a Valentine, and you don't want them to miss out on Valentine's Day or feel lonely. So this is great that we have the I love that we are friends sentiment. That's what we'll be doing today. And I have used, as I said, the deckled edge rectangle dies. And that is number 159, 173. There we go. Okay. And I used the second to the largest one. You could use the largest if you preferred. I just kind of liked having the smaller one inside. And then I've got a 3 1/4 inch square that I stamped my heart on. And then just some scraps. You always have these scraps, and I save them when you cut your 8.5 by 11 cardstock down for a center. You'll have scraps left, so we use that. And then it hurt my heart to cut this paper up this way and use this stripe, but I just had to. It made this card so cute. So I did use part of that. And then the other pieces are cut out, punched out of the other side of that paper. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Got to get this out of the envelope. All right. Set these aside for the moment. Get that bone folder after that. Get a good crisp score line there. Okay. We're going to, well, I said I was going to start with the cane folder. I think we're going to go ahead and stamp while we've got everything right here handy. We'll just start with the stamping. That's the fun part. Hope y'all are having a great day or great evening, whatever time you're watching, wherever you are. We're going to start with the heart. And I found that it was easier for me We're going to move all this up. Kind of get that out of your way so you can see a little better. Now, hopefully you can see the stamp pad and the stamp. Okay, we've got, this is the Country Bouquet or Country Bouquet, whichever way you want to say it. And this is stamp set 160377. That is 160382. But if you want both of those, you'd want to order it as the bundle. And that has a separate number, which I can't show you out of the catalog. So thank you, whoever the other Facebook user is. We've got a couple of those. Let me get this banner off. We're going to hide that for a bit so I can show your comment. So I'm not here. This is how it shows up on my screen, whoever is watching, Facebook users. We've got 2 of those. So we're just going to hide those for now. But if you haven't registered online to let me know that it's okay to show, StreamYard won't let me show. It won't show me who's on board. So thank y'all for tuning in, and please leave a comment, as I said. Let me know if you have any questions or anything as we go along. I'll try to watch comments also. Okay, I'm using the Sweet Sorbet. That's what is in the Designer Series paper. And I want to make sure I get these coated really well. So I'm going to flip it over also and ink it up this way. I kind of do it both ways. And this looks kind of like a distinctive stamp set. It's not actually that, but it does have some shading in it. So we're just going to stamp this right in the middle. I'm going to give it some pressure, let it sit. Sorry about hitting the table there evidently and shaking the camera. Really let that soak in good because you want to get all the variation in color. Doesn't look like much yet. And I forgot to bring my cleaner in here. I always forget something. So that's something I can do later. I'd rather do it now because that is really going to stain. But just do what you got to do, right? Now I'm going to use Mint Macaron. And this is another one of the colors in the Designer Series paper. And since we're only using a little strip of the Designer Series paper today, well, actually, these are from part of it that I've punched out, and I'm going to show you how that punches. I think I've already punched all of mine out of the paper, but I can show you the negative of what I've done. Okay. And you do have to hover over it, really kind of get it lined up. You're kind of filling in the negative spaces. That's what I started looking for, is where are the blank spaces, and get those lined up. And it doesn't matter if they're exactly on or not, because it's not a perfect heart anyway with all this foliage around, flowers and leaves. So this would be a 2-step stamp. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Simple, simple. And I like it. I've seen some people put the heart in a circle, and I don't, our circles aren't quite big enough for it to fit right. And I just either like leaving it on a square like it is, or fussy cutting it out like I did on this card. We'll let that dry for a second and go ahead and stamp our Happy Valentine's Day. And of course, this could be, if you don't want to send a Valentine's Day card, this could easily be an anniversary card or birthday card to somebody you love, whatever you want it to be. Let's see, we're going to do Happy Valentine's Day. Just stamp straight down, straight up. Tap, tap, tap on the stamp pad, and then stamp straight down. Leave it a second to have time to soak into the paper. There's our Happy Valentine's Day. And we just need a little scrap piece for the I love that we are friends. We'll go ahead and do that on the inside. We don't need a scrap piece, do we? We're doing this on the inside like that. I love that we are friends. Simple, simple. Now, while we've got the ink still out, we'll go ahead and stamp this heart. And this one is attached. If you wanted to cut it apart, you could. I haven't seen a reason where I need to yet because it's easy to see where that heart ends. So you've got a little space between it and the other one. So if you can see here, see the clear, this part at the bottom is not stamped up at all. So I don't have to worry about getting a little bit of that somewhere else. I'm going to stamp that straight down, use a little pressure, let it sit there for a few seconds. Straight up, there we go. And it is supposed to have that variation in there. That is intentional. Okay, one thing I did do a little stamp surgery on is the leaf stamp, because for things like this, I didn't want to have to figure out all the ways of doing it. I just thought this would be easier, but I didn't think about repercussions for when I'm using the punch. So we'll have to figure that out later. But so you might want to think that through all the way through before you cut it. And I'm just going to put a couple of little leaves, 2 different ones. And we're just going to kind of put those right at the base of the heart. And then if you want just the 2, that's great. If you want to put a third one, put a third one. Whatever you want to do. It's your card. You create it your way. All right. So we've got that ready for the inside. We can go ahead and mount that while we're at it. I'm just going to use liquid glue. You can use your favorite liquid glue. You can use Stampin' Seal. Wouldn't really need Seal Plus or anything heavy duty. We'll just put our little silicone mat here so it won't make a mess. And I'm just centering this with an even border all the way around. And there we have it. There's your inside done. Now, for the outside, well, we've got this here. I'm going to go ahead. This is, I believe, 3/4 of an inch by 5.5. Let's see, 3/4. Yes, 3/4 of an inch. And we're just going to, was a little bit too much glue there coming out. We'll spread that out a little bit so we won't make too much of a mess. Okay, now double check, make sure we've already got the inside in. We want to make sure we're doing this properly on the front and not on the back or something, which has happened before. Okay, so now we've got that detail on. Let's go ahead and show you how I punch these out. This is the designer series paper. The whole sheet has alternating hearts with mossy meadow leaves and hearts with the mint macaron leaves. Okay, so this punch will punch the whole things out, all of it at once. And you just make sure when you're opening your punch, hold it tightly together and move it up and then release it, because they can break if you just get in a hurry and are shoving it as it opens. It can break. So you just line up. We'll just pretend this is an entire heart setup, but you can see how this, get it kind of lined up like you want it. Can you see that? See, I've already punched out all of the whole ones, but you can picture that's all you have to do is that and punch it, and there you have it. Exactly what you need. Isn't that fun? I love punches. They're easier than dies. see here, I've got leaking glue, I bet. All right. Now, so we've got those ready. That's how you get this punched out of the paper that's on the other side of that stripe. So I've got a couple of leaves and the heart that we're going to use. And I've got the Happy Valentine's Day. I'm just going to snip this. We actually have a die in this new catalog that kind of cuts at that same angle there. It just wasn't long enough to use, but you can just snip it however you want to. You could fishtail it. You could do whatever you want. And I'm just going to fussy cut this really quickly. Get that out of the way. We're done with the stamping, I think. And I'm just kind of leaving a thin white border around. And I'm kind of keeping the scissors in the same place and moving the paper around. Kind of leave the scissors as a pivot point. And there's no exact outline of this heart because you're just kind of guessing in between the flowers and the leaves where that center should be. I'm going to go a little bit further. And that's why you want to leave a white border all the way around. So if you get off somewhere, you get a little too close, you can kind of tighten up the other spaces to match it if you need to. But it's a very artsy heart. There we go. How cute. We're going to cut that just a tad right there. Whoops. I think I'm going to cut. There we go. Close enough. See, no catastrophes. Just kind of in a heart shape. That's all you're looking for. And we're going to use dimensionals on that one. And so we've got that all ready. All we need to do is our cane embossing folder. We'll move this out of the way and bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine up. Wanted to show you how big of a difference this makes off of the flat paper. And when you line it up, if you don't ever go all the way in as far as you can go, because you'll have a ridge right there if you do. So usually the 5.5 is somewhere around this line right here. If you can see that on the paper. And I'm also lining it up. I made it 2 1/8 inches, this piece of mint macaron. And it works out pretty well right in between where you have a straight line on that edge, a straight line on that edge, and you're lined up here. Hopefully that you can see that. Okay. Then we're just using plate 1, and you always put the embossing folder in hinge first. And we'll add the gray plate over it because it is a 3D embossing folder. Sorry about the shaking. Hello, Facebook users. Somebody's having to sit in line at the pharmacy. That does take a while sometimes. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're here. If you want to let me know who you are, that would be great. You just have to give StreamYard and Facebook your permission to do that. Okay, so look at this. Is that incredible? When they say 3D, they mean 3D. It looks just like a cane bottom chair. Remember those old kind of chairs, diner chairs, grandma and grandpa chairs? So I really thought that was pretty fun and nostalgic, kind of with the hearts. Okay. So that is, again, I don't have my numbers on here yet. Usually I cut it out when I first get it and put it on there, but I can post it later to the bottom of the video. Okay, we're ready to add this to the card. And on this one, you could use Stampin' Seal Plus. I would use the Plus since you've got this much texture if you don't like using liquid glue. But I really like like liquid glue on the textured folders. I really think you get in those little crevices and it's going to make it stay better. You don't want your card coming apart after you've done all this work, which crafting can be work, but it's a lot of fun too, don't you think? Did y'all get to craft some over the holidays so far? Hopefully. Love to do that. This is a little short. We may have to trim that just a little bit on both sides to make that work. Oh, hi, Tanya. Sorry, StreamYard isn't playing nice for you. I'm going to use my little trimmer afterwards and do that. But for right now, this will work. We are going to pop this part up on dimensionals. And I would suggest that if you haven't done this before, kind of play with the angle and see where you like it with the hearts, both of them. You got to have, you could put them straight if you're a straight kind of gal. I'm kind of a, let's have fun and make this at an angle kind of gal. And I'm just going to barely touch those until I'm sure this is the way I want it. Because you can peel them off a lot easier if you haven't used a lot of pressure on those. But I think this is going to work just great. All right, I'm going to put one at the bottom. And I don't think I want a double at the top. I think I can put one there. Let's see how I'm doing that. Because you've got one here and one here. So we're kind of doing this in between. So I didn't put one there. I just attached one here and one here so that I don't have a double, if that makes sense. Then we're going to put some on this one. And I'm just going to move this over just a little bit so that that can overlap the heart without being a double stack there. Goes through the mail easier with one stack than two, but sometimes you have a card, you just need that. I do not see, no, Facebook user, whoever is asking about that, I cannot see it yet. It still shows Facebook user. You may have to do it before the video starts. Like, I don't know. Have to do a little research there and figure that out. At what point you have to do that. And I don't know that once you've done it, if from then on my videos, it will show up, or if you have to do it each time. I do not know. Okay, we're going to get the little, let's get these on. We'll just put these two little leaves and you kind of dry fit or audition. I heard one demonstrator say audition your pieces and see kind of where you want them. Whoops. So try it first before you add your glue. And I'm just putting these flat behind it. I mean, you could put one elsewhere, but I think you'd need probably 3 if you did that. So we're just going to kind of do that at a little angle. You don't want anything pointing just directly out of the corner of your card. You feel like this will take them around and keep their eye in the card. So that's why I chose to do it that way. We're going to add some of these gems, which I'm going to have to get more of. And I'm going to show you how these work. We might want to add a little gold somewhere if we use this color instead of, I'm just showing you, these are the pastel ones. This is more closer to the petal pink color. And then this is they say Calypso Coral, but it really, I think it works well with this red. It just makes the card a little brighter here, doing it this way. So if you're more of a subtle gal, You might want to use the pink ones. If you like the brighter red, this works too, and it brings in a little bit of gold. See how it kind of flashes the gold a bit? Which one do you like better, the left or the right? The pink or the red on the gems? Pink gems, red gems. See if I can get it closer. Let's get, there we go. Hopefully I didn't freeze it. Yes, Tanya, I can see your name now. Thank you very much for doing that. All right. And again, that's how easy it is to work with this designer series paper. And you'll be seeing a lot of other ways to use it on future cards. If y'all decide to take that card class, I will be sending that out. I'm going to be placing my order on January 5th. So January 4th is the deadline for that. And, oh, I need to use a little wink of Stella here. And also I'm planning a paper share. If I get people interested in just getting a quarter pack of all of the papers in all the designer series papers and specialty papers in the new January to April mini catalog. And that way you save a lot of money that way over, instead of buying a full pack and not using it, you just pay a quarter of the price because you get a quarter of the paper. And that way, you know, if you love a certain designer series paper pack, you'll know that's the one you want to order a full pack of. But this way you get to play with it. And I also did a little line here. I just thought that was kind of fun. I don't think I've ever done that before, but I just used, of course on camera it's not as easy to do, but just kind of make a line there. So it almost looks like you've got a layer of glittery paper behind it, which would be pretty. We've had several of the white glimmer papers, or you could do a little strip of gold, especially with this. That might be fun to try. I don't have that handy. I didn't think of it in time, but see how that adds, just brings the glimmer or glitter from the heart, just adds one more little detail. And I really think that's a fun, easy card. And you could, of course, make a ton of these. You could use some of that Celebrate Everything, has some colors that are close to this. You could do whatever you want, as long as you coordinate your background paper and the DSP and then your coordinating cardstock. Make that all work with whatever color choices you make here. And you could make this in a lot of colors, a lot of different ones. So I think that's all I had on that today. I'll switch back over. Let's see, we want to switch to, nope, we don't want to switch to that one. Let's switch to this one. Now I'll come back over to see you. Thanks again for tuning in, and you'll watch my blog, subscribe to my blog, createwithkelly.com, and I'll be posting all the information about the upcoming class that is a class to go kit. I will be offering some in-person classes to go with it if you want, but really it's getting the kit with the bundle and the gems and the cane embossing folder, and get that all as a package. And then you'll get, the card class will be basically free, your supplies for that. So I'll have the details out soon for that. And then also for the paper share, those deadlines are going to be January the 4th, because every customer can order out of the new catalog starting January 5th. I'm going to show you the cover of that again. And also the celebration catalog starts the same time. Let's switch this back to where y'all can see this bigger. We'll go to that, and the little celebration catalog. Let's see, I've got one here. Here we go. So celebration is just going to happen one time this year. It'll be just in January and February. The catalog itself will go January through April. So in the past couple of years, we've had 2 celebrations, but this year only one. In celebration, you'll get For every $50 you order, you'll get something out of the catalog at the $50 level. And then if you place a $100 order, then you'll get the $100 level out of this. And if you're thinking you need that many things out of the catalog, you might consider the join special also in that catalog, because it's going to be awesome. And that starts January 5th also. You'll be able to get a little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine as well as your starter kit. So that's exciting. glad you've tuned in. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful Happy New Year, and I will see you next week. I am going to be changing things up in January. I'm looking at possibly doing like Saturday mornings for these lives. And that way maybe I'll catch more people. But thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for watching the replay. Please share if you've got any crafty friends who might be interested. Would love to have y'all on board. Have a fun holiday. Thanks. Fun times ahead. Talk to you soon. Bye.